I wasn't planning to review Arcane season 2 due to my packed schedules, but after Act 3, I just had to speak up, seriously. Because what was that? Am I the only one who feels like the show completely fumbled the storytelling and characterization? So many new characters were introduced this season, but none of them were given the depth they deserved. The most frustrating part was how the rush pacing impacted these characters. It was painfully obvious that they tried to cram too many plot lines into the limited episodes. Why not just make it a 10-episode season to give the story and characters the time they needed to truly shine? And who knows the plot lines they probably left out? Like, the whole thing is just crazy to me. There were some characters I wish we got more insights on, like this rat guy, Smitch. He quickly became an intriguing character from his first scene, and then we are seeing his unique moves and what he can do, and kind of like his little influence, if that makes sense. And I was thinking he was going to last a little longer so we could delve deeper into his character and see how he would pursue his goals, especially since he was now the new MVP from the Camp Barons. But no, he was killed off instead. This Fox guy, Les, when Les was introduced, bro, I honestly thought we were getting a new character that would play a pivotal role in this season. His ability to hear almost anything seemed like a game changer, and the fact that he was working with Mel Madada made me think there will be a force to reckon with in this season, But then he ended up being just another side character. That was disappointing. This new guy with Vi, I was excited when he showed up because my first thought was that he might be connected to Vanda because they kind of look alike. So I was looking forward to, learning more about him, maybe a backstory or some deeper connection to the plot. But sadly, that never happened. This Black Rose lady, Amara, considering how people were a big part of Mel's transformation, I expected a proper backstory to her relationship with Ambessa or an insight into her motives and why she has a feud with Ambessa. But she was killed off before her story even began. Like, her character just felt so underutilized. Up to the point of making this video, I still can't say what her issue with Ambessa was, and the whole Black Rose plot was just confusing. It felt like these characters just breezed in and out without leaving a lasting impact. It's wild to me because this wasn't the case with Arcane season 1. Then moving on to Isha, y'all are probably not going to agree with me on this one, but what was the point of Isha? Like, bro, she was just annoying to me because why was she following Jinx up and down? And on top of that, she doesn't even speak. Like, where is your mother or siblings? The Nigerian image just couldn't with her. It didn't sit well with me that she was wandering off like that all alone. The show needed to give us a backstory to connect with her on a deeper level because I didn't care for her. I'm sorry. Like, when she sacrificed herself for Jinx, I didn't feel the impact because I don't know why a character like her would make such sacrifice of that level. And for Jinx, maybe it just me, but I couldn't wrap my head around why she would do that for Jinx. It felt like her character was just thrown in there to push Jinx's arc along, and I wasn't with it. Seeing Vanda return in season 2 was initially exciting, but what they did with him was kind of aggravating. In season 1, Vanda's arc ended on a tragic yet meaningful note, and it was iconic because it gave the story an emotional weight. But to bring him back in season 2 as a literal beast controlled by Singed, like, that felt like a disservice to his character to me. And the worst part, the fact that he caused Jinx's demise didn't make sense. Really, like, who thought this was a good idea? If Vanda was better off dead, just like in season 1, they would have just maintained it that way. I don't know. And then that scene with Vi and Jinx was so frustrating because it's like Vi lost all her logical thinking just so she can have a moment with Vanda. She knew Vanda wasn't the same person anymore, yet she risked everything, including her sister, for a sentimental moment. I know the writers were going for emotional tension kind of scene, but that came off dumb as I'm sorry. Moving on to Jace, I was hoping he will own his shit and be more calculated when compared to season 1 Jace, but no, we got a junky, confused, joy deprived, homeless looking Jace for like almost all the episodes. The whole journey and the way Jace was executed in this season was a drag for me. I literally fast forward his scenes anytime it comes up. I wasn't just expecting his character to follow that route. Mind you, I'm not saying how things turned out for him is bad or anything. I'm just saying that I would have preferred a different route for him this season. I would have preferred a Jace that felt accomplished, a Jace that kind of like got everything he wanted with Hextech. Like, I just wasn't expecting the Jace we got and his journey and all that. But as for Victor, I honestly got tired of his character. I get it, he's now a god, I get it, but do we really have to see him constantly transforming into different versions of one? It became exhausting after a while. My frustration with Victor is heavily influenced by the show's rushed pacing anyway, but after several rewatches I started to understand him better. That said, it's still frustrating how Victor couldn't save Vanda as quickly as he did with the others. It felt like the writers made this choice intentionally and it was annoying. Like, why was Vanda treated like a special case? And then for Mbessa, it felt like all her dialogue throughout the season became repetitive at some point because I don't even know what she was fighting for. Please, if you're watching this video and you can show me where Mbessa stated what her mission is in this season, show me, like, I'm interested. Like, all she did this season was give us a good speech, appear intimidating, dress up nicely without any clear indication of what she wants or what she's fighting for. Like, her deal with Caitlyn was kind of confusing because how and why does Mbessa have such impact imputed over to even make Caitlyn a leader? It was confusing for me. Are we going to talk about how Mel Madada literally turned and got superpowers with her eyes glowing, like from where to where? The way it was handled was so rushed that it wasn't even compelling. It felt like it was a 9-minute decision. Oh, let's do this for Mel. Let's do that. Like, come on. You know, I expected some rushed elements since they announced Arcane would end with season 2, but the level of rushing we got is just absurd. Arcane season 1 had a very fast pacing in terms of characters growth, but they were able to maintain the storytelling without having us, the audience, confused with anything because it all blended well. But season 2, even though there weren't any time skips or anything like that, we were still confused as hell with the story and the pacing. The fast progression with the characters' journeys made it so hard to stay invested with any of them. It felt like the show was just sprinting through the story rather than letting us experience it organically like in season 1. Like, I hate that Arcane season 2 left the audience complaining about it feeling rushed and, you know, having us questioning what happened to characters like Hemdinger and if Jinx is truly dead. It's like, who is going to answer this question since we're not getting season 2 and they didn't even care to give us at least episode 10 to make everything feel more grounded and, you know, more understood. I don't know. Arcane is such a dope franchise for it to be associated with this type of criticism, if you ask me. If you made it to this level of the video, you are the real MVP. I appreciate you watching this video. Please like the video so that others can be able to watch the video as well. Subscribe to the channel because I have more videos on Arcane on the way. I will see you guys in my next one. I'm out of here.